This is my preview for the West Ham Doncaster game Saturday, F.A Cup. So, normally when I do these previews, I will analyse the opposition, try and work out how they're going to set up, where the key battles are, etc. But I don't want to be disrespectful and assume a team's position, like formation, tactics, key players when I don't really know them myself. All I do know, or all I can guess, is the way we'll set up and our history in this competition and what I think we need to do to get through to the next round. So against Stockport, we fielded a pretty strong side. It was poor weather conditions. Based on the weather where we've had last couple of days in Cheshire, it could be the same. I don't know what it's going to be like Saturday and what it's like up and down the country. But if those conditions are the same, which I don't think they would be or should be too much, I would still avoid playing as strong as a team, no matter what. I know Antonio's our only recognised striker, but we need to give Nipu a run out. Instead, I think he deserves it for his performances in the development squad. And Antonio needs a break. He looks good against West Brom. He looks sharp, but I think we just need to rest him as and when we can. Same with Dex. Dex needs a rest. It's not going to hurt West Ham too much if we rested Declan and played Mark Noble. Nobes is still capable of doing the job. I don't care what anybody says. He's a servant to this club. He hasn't played in quite some time, apart from a off-the-bench appearance. He deserves a run-out. Let him wear that armband and let him dictate to everybody else in the team. Get them up, get them raring to go, and push us through to the next round. The way I would like to see us set up, I've seen some people do a 3-4-3 predicted lineups, which would work, could work, including giving that Alves a debut. I can see that. If we're going to do a 3-4-3 and play Randolph in goal, Diop, Balbuena, Alves, then have Fredericks on the right, Johnson on the left, with Noble, and we could do Souček, but would it be the worst thing in the world to have Fornals play there? I don't think so. So either or will be fine. It'd be good to be able to give Rice and Souček a rest, ready for the next Premier League game. So I'm going to go Noble, Fornals, and then play Lanzini on the left, Yarmolenko on the right, with Mipu up front. Put all the other boys on the bench, and then if we need to change things up at half time or early, let's hope David Moyes makes those changes. That'd be the team that I'd like to see us start in that formation. If it's a 4-4-2, then just go out and just play. Randolph in goal, Fredericks on the right, Ben Johnson on the left, Diop and Balbuena at the back, and then Noble, play Souček if that's the case, and Fornals, and then Lanzini, Yarma and Mipu up front. That will be my team. Try and get some confidence in some players ready for the Premier League. We've got fixtures coming through thick and fast. Need to rest players as and when you can, and hopefully that sees us through to the next round. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. That's my prediction, but let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like the channel, subscribe to the channel, drop us any comments. How do you think we should line up, and what you think your score is going to be? And if you see the comments, I'll happily interact. until the next one, come on your Lions.
Hi guys, Josh Dainty here, Doncaster Rovers fan and content creator. I've been asked to give a few words on the upcoming FA Cup tie between West Ham and Doncaster Rovers. Really looking forward to it. So yeah, let's get into it. Thoughts on how the game will go. I think it has got the potential to be one of the best ties of the round. I think that we're playing very good football at the minute. We're doing well in the league, as are West Ham. They're doing especially well at keeping the ball out of the back of the net. So I wouldn't be surprised if our strikers don't get much of a sniff. But I could see it being a really good end-to-end game if we turn up, if we have the right mentality. The last time we faced Premier League opposition in the FA Cup, it was Crystal Palace in 2018-19, and we didn't turn up that day. We sort of let them ease to a 2-0 victory, and it was a bit disappointing really because it was a big occasion for us. But yeah, we didn't really turn up and didn't show the best side of the club at that time. So if we come in with that right mentality, I don't see why it can't be an end-to-end game with a lot of attacking intent from both teams. Moving on to my likely team lineups, I feel like we're going to set up pretty similar to how we do in the league, 4-2-3-1 formation. In goal, there's going to be Ellery Balcom on loan from Brentford. He made his debut for Rovers against Blackburn in the third round and pulled off an amazing double save. Really looking good for us, and he's made the appearances for England from up to under 20 age group, I believe. So I feel like he'll definitely start, and he's shown good signs so far. So that'll be good for us. Left back will be Cameron John, as I've mentioned previously. I think that with Reece James moving up into midfield, he's really sort of made left back his own this season, and with being predominantly he was a centre back when he was on loan with us last season. He has definitely improved at left back, and he's got good pace. So he should start at left back for us. I think right back's going to be Brad Halliday. He was very good at bombing forward and making that inverted option for the right winger. He'll offer a lot going forward, defensively strong as well. So he should sort of sit in at right back in his position that he's played much of the season. And the centre backs, as I've mentioned before, they do have a lack of pace, but they are strong. It's Tom Anderson and Andy Butler. Andy Butler, a club legend, recently made his 200th appearance for Rovers. He is the manager of the Doncaster Rovers Bells women's team. So he's from Doncaster, he's a local lad, but his age has sort of got the better of him a little bit. Like he's doing very well for us in League One, but I feel like his lack of pace might get caught up against Antonio, like I've mentioned previously. And then there's Tom Anderson, who's been given the captaincy following Ben Whiteman's departure. He's strong, he's a brick wall. Don't be surprised if he puts everything on the line to keep that ball out of the back of the net. But yeah, I think that the lack of pace there might be the downfall for us, but they're the two centre-backs I feel like Darren Moore will go with. Moving into midfield, I think the two holding midfielders will be Reece James and Matt Smith. Matt Smith, on loan from Manchester City, has had COVID over the Christmas period, so I don't know exactly what his fitness levels are like, but I feel like if he's ready to play, Darren Moore will pick him because he is probably at the moment our best technical centre midfielder, having lost Ben Whiteman. Reece James is he was a left back for most of his career, I believe. And definitely for the first sort of year of him being at Rovers, but he's been moved up into a holding midfield. He's played at left wing, and he's been able to get on the score sheet quite a lot this season as well. So he's a really good utility player, and don't be surprised you see him bombing forward and getting involved with the attacks because that's the kind of player that he is, sort of a jack of all trades. Moving into like the sort of front attacking three. It'll be on the left, I think it'll be Elliot Simoes on loan from Barnsley. He's showed that he's really good on the ball, really good technically, skillful. Not sure if he'll get the chance to show that on Saturday, but he looks good, and he could cause the defence a few problems. But if I could also see him being phased out of the game if he tries to be too clever, or you could see him getting caught in possession, sort of thing. And then we're going to obviously Taylor Richards in the centre attacking midfield role. I sort of mentioned him before. He's another loanee from Brighton, arguably man of the match against Blackburn Rovers in the third round. Scored a great solo effort, but he was afforded a lot of time on the ball by the Blackburn defence. So I would have picked Tom Anderson as the actual man of the match for that game. But yeah, it was an arguable one. Definitely him with a shout. Don't be surprised if he can punish you if you give him too much time on the ball. He's got a good rasping shot from deep. Technically very good as well. So yeah, I think he'll play there. I think on the right will be John Taylor, a very experienced player. Scored midweek for us, and he's another COVID sufferer who's returned to the team now, and he seems to be fighting fit. So I could see him being thrown in from the start at right mid. And then the lone striker will be Fajiri Okunabiri. He's currently our only recognised striker in the club because of injuries, but he's been playing on the wing more recently, but he has been put into to play up front as well. So I feel like that Darren Moore will be forced to put him up as a central striker for the game on Saturday. Key battles, I think there's one in particular I'm disappointed that we're not going to see, and that's Ben Whiteman against the West Ham midfield. Had he stayed, had he not had his head turned by Preston North End, I would have liked to see him go up against the likes of Rice, Souček, or even Mark Noble, and I feel like he would have given a good account for himself in that regard. But yeah, disappointing that it's not going to happen. I am worried about Mikel Antonio, especially with the current form, going up against our centre defenders. We've got a clear lack of pace in that area, and I feel like Antonio could expose us there. I suppose Bowen will be matched by Cameron John in terms of pace, but he will have to be on his A game if he wants to stop Bowen influencing the game with his technical prowess. I think it could be a good battle, but it also could be an easy one for Bowen if John doesn't turn up on the day. I think that West Ham will overrun the midfield now that we don't have Ben Whiteman there as a sort of anchor. I feel like we might set up to go and avoid the midfield at all costs and sort of get the ball from defence to attack and try and avoid that area, because West Ham are just going to control that with the players that they have in those positions. Taylor Richards and Fajiri Okunabiri are striker and then sort of supporting striker, centre attacking midfield player, however you want to describe him. I feel like they're going to have to be on top form if West Ham go with a strong lineup. Say it's Ogbonna and Dawson, they're going to have to really be on top form to have a chance against them. They're keeping out Premier League squads at the minute, and if we're to have a good day at the office, I feel like they might have to have a bad one for us. But again, it could be a key battle and could just depend on who turns up on the day, really. And that's it for sort of key battles that I've picked out. And then finally, the score prediction. I think I've got two answers here. I've got a head and a heart answer. The head answer says 2-0 to West Ham, a fairly routine result, a little bit like the result that we had against Crystal Palace. I feel like we will turn up, but I feel like you've just got the quality to sort of convincingly put us to bed. 2-0. I see it maybe being over by 60 minutes, maybe less. But my heart, as the football fan inside me, is saying maybe we could nick a 1-0 win and defend like with our lives once we get that 1-0 lead. Obviously, there's been cases of West Ham being knocked out by lower league opposition in recent years. I'm thinking of the Wimbledon game mostly. So potentially there's always a chance in the FA Cup that we could nick a result. But my head is saying a 2-0 win for West Ham. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the upcoming FA Cup tie between West Ham and Doncaster Rovers. I'm gutted that I can't be there along with all the other fans in the away end and the home fans as well. It's going to be, I think it would have been a really good spectacle to go to the Olympic Stadium for the very first time for the Rovers fans. I would like to thank Ian as part of Hammer's poll for asking me to get involved and give this preview to the game. And all the best to you for the rest of the season, Hammers fans. You do really well in the Premier League. It's good to see after your troubles of the past sort of thing that you've sort of turned a corner. So that's really good to see. Hopefully we can nick a result on the day. But all the best for the rest of the season. And thanks for having me on.
For West Ham fans everywhere, this is the ultimate football app for you. Never miss a thing with the latest West Ham news, gossip and social stories as they break. Download the free COY Irons app now from the App Store and Google Play.